Order the meeting of Thursday, December 11th for the Cedar Springs City Council. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Should stop, teacher. Roll call. Mrs. Conley. Here. Mr. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Marva.
Here.
Mrs. Powell. Yeah, here. Mrs. Rudy is excused.
Would you like?
But well, yes, a motion, please.
Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to excuse Miss Rudy.
Or that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Mrs. Race.
Here.
And Miss Atchison is here. Pam, can you read the public comment thing for me?
Sure. The council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and public hearing portion of the agenda. However, council policy is to hear the public comment, not to act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the city manager for action. If after communicating with the city manager, no resolution is reached, the concern will be elevated to the mayor and then eventually to the council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please state your name and address for the record if you would like it in the record.
And this looks like that's where our presentation is going to be. So let's get the public first, and then we'll do that. Anybody from the public like to speak? Right up to the little microphone there.
Hi, my name is Matthew Suarez. I live here in Cedar Springs. This is my first council meeting. Hey. I really don't have a speech prepared, but I have a proposition on making the there's a bus route in Cedar Springs, right?
No, out by Myers.
A bus stop. This is my question.
The bus doesn't come in here.
Township.
Oh, that's different than here. Oh, okay. Because I had an idea to make a bus route in Cedar Springs. I don't know if that would be a good idea though.
I think we would love it, but it's not our call.
Know how that would move into place, to be honest.
Other transportation.
Yeah. For the public who don't have vehicles, because I don't have a vehicle myself, so that idea just popped up in my mind one day.
Well, yeah, that's something we can check into.
Madam Mayor, if I could just, I know that the folks from the brewing company have been trying to get Lyft and or Uber up here because like they will drive you here, but you can't get them to come pick you up to take you somewhere else. And if we have more people, and my understanding is the bus that's at Meyer is Ferris.
Oh, is it?
It makes a loop from Ferris in Big Rapids to Ferris in Grand Rapids. And you don't have to be a Ferris student, but that's like what it does. So
she rode that bus once to Grand Rapids to go to a appointment.
Absolutely.
Okay,
it's an idea. I thought I'd speak about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yeah. Thank you. You can also watch on Zoom and comment on Zoom in the future if it's like cold and nasty and you don't want to come in person.
All right. Is that on the website? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anybody online? Okay. Then we will move on to, Darla, you want to introduce who's here?
We're going to have a presentation from the CBDT board. We have John Ensley here from Fleece and Vandenbrink, I think is going to do the main presentation. Then we also have Patrick Ensley and Dwayne McIntyre, CBDT board members. for additional comments.
So with three of us. it's all-
You can come to the podium, John, and.
Well, you guys got one already.
Also,
I really like the back though.
okay, part of this is already in your packet.
They're like super cool Legos.
No, right. But on the back side of this is actually the original master plan from the 2017 of Cedar Springs,
Okay.
of the Cedar Springs Trail, and then the very back one is phase one of what the CDBT was 19.
So this is the boardwalk that we,
Fishing line with all the boardwalk, yeah.
that a really long time ago, we were trying
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 2015, but he may be correct at 2017.
My notes said 2014, November.
Oh,
of.
14. There we go.
Go. You don't, yeah.
You guys talk, get a little closer to the microphone, then they can hear you on mine.
younger.
In short. Okay.
Yeah, presentations are a little different.
Start and then.
You might as well just rifle right off. So we.
All right. So in your packet, as well as the information I gave you, is the contract proposal that we gave to Darla, your city manager, based off from what the CBDT had asked me to come up with. Quick start, fishing line trail. That name actually came from the old White Pine Trail when it was the GR&I Railroad. I don't know if you know the history of the railroad, but I'm going to give you a brief synopsis at the end on the history. But we'll start with what the CBDT is proposing. If you can go to the next slide, or next one. Myself and Danelle are the two main people at Fleece and Vandenbrink. Danelle is going to be my project manager. I will be the major contact. This is my hometown, or one of my hometowns. I grew up in this neighborhood. We have similar last names, if you haven't noticed. I've been here my entire life, and plus I've got a pretty good history of engineering in this area. So brief history, I was involved with the library and the amphitheater and the fire station and the Hartside Park and quite a few of the things. So next slide. The fishing line is the name that we came up with 10 years ago, simply because Kurt Maybe, if you have ever met him, kind of twisted my arm a little bit and had me do some research on it. And we found out that once the logging industry fell apart on the railroad, GR&I changed the name to the fishing line so that they could get tourism to come up from Cincinnati all the way up to Mackinac. And what you may not know is the GR&I built the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island.
I didn't know that.
The other thing with the GR&I, this stretch of fishing line of this railroad, which goes from Fort Wayne all the way up to Mackinac Island, started here in Cedar Springs. This was the very first railroad station, and it went down to Grand Rapids, the first 20-mile section. So once Kurt asked me to get involved, and Pat too, I came up with a basic design in 2015 of a boardwalk that was going to go through the Hartside Park. And that's what you see on your desk in front of you. And the actual flat piece is the proposed work that matches the map that's within your packet. So the red on those,
Am I holding it?
There's the library and the amphitheater.
180 degrees. There you go.
There you go.
So the red is actually.
It's not on the back.
I know.
The red is actually the trail and the two decks that they're proposing for this part of the project, phase one. To get it started, and then it'll eventually go all the way down to 17 Mile, which was in your master plan. It starts up at the Veterans Park and works its way all the way down to 17 Mile. Cool part is that it connects this park with Regal Park, the dog park, and all the way down to where your restaurants and stuff are on 17 Mile. And you have kind of a triangle there to.
Wasn't this also part of the MOU with the, wasn't this also part of the MOU with the National Trail?
Yes. So the trailhead. White Pine Trail, the North Park Trail, and the and this trail all are right there at that corner by the amphitheater, and that's why the railroad station amphitheater is there. And if you look on that amphitheater, you'll actually see North Country. I'm sorry, you're
I was
right.
trying to think of it too.
If you look on the amphitheater, you'll actually see the fishing line logo on the amphitheater, and that's why that was put there.
Tree trailer, the blue blazes, the blue diamond blazes for people who, and it runs parallel to the White Pine Trail. So
So our proposal is to help the CBDT get this started with two decks and using the trail system that's currently already in place to help save money. Pat and I actually walked the creek and found some good fishing holes, some good spots to place these fishing decks. In our proposal, we're planning on doing just this first phase from the White Pine Trail to Main Street. And then continue on afterwards. There's a lot of information in the documentation here that you're welcome to go through. My understanding is we probably will need all three participants, the city, the CBDT, and Fleece and Vandenbrink to sign a contract. So if this has to be updated, that's not a problem. What I'm going to do now is just give you a little quick history on why we went with the fishing line. If you can hit the next slide. Here's your master plan showing from 17 Mile clear up to the Veterans Park of the Cedar Springs Trail. You can go to the next slide. Proposal. Again, here's your little maps. The two darkened spots are where we're looking to put the decks to start with. And then there's a third one on the other side of the White Pine Trail, which is a possible location for a different site or an alternate. Or it can be one of the sites. And just for fun, I started naming them after the cities along the railroad stop. With this proposal, you could add plaques for each city, little rain gardens for runoff, just kind of continue on with the theme of your park. Next slide. Purpose and history. The foundation of the trail or of the railroad started in 1854. And it was pushed into lumbering in 1867. And we had something called the Civil War going on at that time. So there's a lot of history here. The GRI, it was a major step to get lumber down south. And then once the furniture industry in Grand Rapids really started taking off, they started pulling the lumber from north from the GRI Railroad.
just read and iron
Yes.
for all of the bullets and all of the came from the mines up in the UP down this.
There were branches to Traverse City and Muskegon, so they could ship all this stuff around and catch this railroad. There was really no way to go north other than this railroad during that time frame or carriage. Next slide. The initial road segment, like I said, was Cedar Springs to Grand Rapids. And then a couple of years later, they went north to Morley Stanwood, going through Howard City, which wasn't Howard City at the time. It was we actually have ancestral relation through there. Ben Ensley was owner of much of the property through Howard City. And he sold a lot of the property in Howard City to, I can't remember his first name, his last name was Howard, which became Howard City. That's why, but that's Ensley Street through Howard City and the Ensley Park, and that's part of us. The White Pine Trail is kind of really special to us because Ben Ensley owned almost 42 miles of it at one time. So it was kind of a cool history to read about your family. The Cedar Springs was the gateway. It's so very significant to this trail system, which is why I wanted to bring it in. A lot of this information I pulled from the government library system.
Yay, libraries.
We can go on to the next one. Trying to keep it short. Unfortunately, in the 1900s, the railroad system really started failing. They were losing the tourism. It started cutting back. It was run by the mail route mostly. And then it was sold to Pioneer. Well, Pennsylvania Railroad bought it in 1920-ish. And then as it progressed and kept down turning in the late 1900s, it was sold off and became the White Pine Trail, which is what we use now. And it's actually picking up tourism again. So trying to stay with that theme, we're trying to continue on with what the original CBDT members were trying to produce a decade later. And that's kind of the legacy, and trying to keep it involved with what your city did over 100 years ago with trying to bring in people to the city. We're just trying to carry it on. Next slide, please. You can go one more. Here's the part about Ben Ensley and him partnering up in Howard City. When that stretch went in from Howard City up to Petoskey and then to Mackinac, that really started pushing the income coming into the railroad system, especially with the tourism of the fishing. One of the neat things is on all of the cities that provided the fishing locations, the brown trout was one of the main fish that they were catching. And I don't know if you guys have actually looked in your creek, but there's thousands and thousands of little brown trout in that creek.
Yeah, the kids chase them when we clean it.
I do know that South Pete, Josh Zeideveen did a electro netting about 10 years ago and pulled some brown trout out of there over 30 inches long. Just
Well, it's one of the only cold water creeks that
I think cold is in the state. So all that much. So they've been building all these years. Another thing too is the community growth and impact that they did with the tourism years ago. We can do that again. That's kind of how this whole thing started. We just want to bring people here and enjoy our city. So next slide. Again, it's just tourism. The Mackinac Island Grand Hotel was built by the GR&I in a record time too. It was like 90 days. It's incredible. Next slide. This is just for basic fishing tourism. It tells all the cities throughout. So as we continue on with phase 2 and phase 3, as the fishing decks are built, we would like to get the other cities involved or people who want to donate to get plaques put for each city, tell a little bit about the history of the city, and get more gardens in. You guys have a wonderful statue arrayment in the parks already. You know, continue that on. Just base it off the cities along that route. And then the next slide, this is just a species of fish. I just thought I'd throw that in there, what was some of the main cities: Big Rapids, Paris and Petoskey, Mackinac City, and Traverse City was a branch, of course, but they all had different types of fish that everybody came to fish for, which was, I guess it was a different time, no cell phones and, but the fishing was big industry back then. What I was surprised to see was there was not any sturgeon mentioned. I don't know if that's, yeah. However, this is what we can do. One of the things that got me motivated was listening to Kurt tell me that what he would like to see before he's off this earth is a spot for grandpas and grandkids to go out and fish without getting a boat, you know, just be able to walk out on the deck. And we were talking about it during the cleanup on the river, and we watched a little girl, maybe 11 years old, with her Snoopy fishing pole catch an 11-inch trout off the side of the creek. So it was kind of cool. That's what I have for the history, a little bit of concrete or on the project. Do you have any questions or?
What, if I may, how much of a impact or how much of a problem for you is it dealing with Eagle for this?
Well, this first phase won't be bad because we had to, well, Hubbleroth and Clark did the study between the White Pine Trail and the Main Street back when the amphitheater and the library were put in. The rest of it will have to be studied, so that'll be another portion. There's a lot of wetland along that creek. As you know, the floodplain within this area is pretty much 2/3 of the city. Groundwater is only about 3.5 feet down.
Shooting out.
There's that.
There's a reason why the fire station was elevated 2.5 feet before it was built. But that is a very good question. It is something we'll have to look into, and that's where the boardwalk portion comes in. One of the symbols shows the deck, the smaller one. The bigger one has a boardwalk attached, so you would see how the deck would be attached to the boardwalk. Okay. We would have to do the boardwalk across the wetlands area. Keep it as minimal as possible, but with the design we have now, we can take that same deck and keep using it all along. So that'll save a little bit of money on phase 2 and 3, and we can always look into other stuff if we need to.
I know they're not a fast acting organization. A lot of times we wait a long time for their decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, we have a good rapport with them. We do a lot of work with Eagle in this area, throughout the state, actually.
Anything specific you're looking for from the city?
Well, basically, because the property is owned by the city, I'm assuming you guys are gonna have to approve it. But as of this year, that'll be an answer from the CBDT. I just, you know, I'm the design guy, so. Guy, apparently.
Our thoughts are, as John mentioned, to the names of the plaques that are gonna be possibly designed to be on the boardwalk areas, is to take those ventures up to those different cities and talk to whoever to get the ideas by them. Possibly, maybe we might collaborate together and do some vacationing a day or two or whatever, just to get it by what's going on for the down here. That was some of the idea as far as funding and whatnot. We haven't dug deep into the funding part because we're trying to basically get this through this first tenure.
Well, and with the information that Fleece and Vandenbrink can provide, we can look into getting individual donors or private donors to maybe give them a 3D print of the deck that they want to help pay for, or, you know, plaques or whatever we need to do. we have a fantastic marketing department and we can help in that aspect too. So
Other CBDT fundraising dinner like there was for the fountain, or is that coming?
About one yet.
Okay.
This is really just kind of an informative meeting to get everybody on board and know that that's one of our hotter topics right now. How to generate some money eventually once we get things figured out, what the cost will be and things like that. So we're kind of really at the start of it.
So the cost that you're seeing in here would be just from Fleece and Vandenbrink as far as their engineering, permitting, those kind of things, doing the legwork.
Other questions? Am I allowed to speak or?
No, just at the, at the beginning, sorry. Yeah, no, you're
Very
good.
good.
You're good.
Anybody?
No? Okay.
Sounds good.
Can you let us know when the next CBDT meeting is and where it is?
Seventeenth at bright and early, 7 a.m.
AM meetings.
Sorry. Is. At the what?
Perry's.
It's at Perry's. Actually, we've been doing it at the library. Yeah.
Oh, it's a night one.
Wait. Oh, I do have AM. I do have AM. I'm sorry.
no, it
It's
is
5
AM. At least
So that's gonna be at Perry's Place.
No? All right.
Or 17th, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your meetings vary from evening to morning, every other meeting.
When is the next one after that? That would be in the evening for those of us who are already working at 7:30.
Was that February?
And those are the ones at the library, correct?
I got May
12.
and that would be at 7 p.m.
Library.
Or, yeah.
Okay, we move on then to public hearings. Thanks for coming and talking to us. Can I get a motion for the adoption of the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented unless there's something else.
I'll second that.
Everybody in favor, say aye. Opposed, same. That's a 7-0 or 6-0. Can I get a motion? Does anybody want to move anything into discussion off the consent agenda, or are we fine with the way it's presented? People. I get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written. I'll support it.
I think we're gonna do roll call on that one because it's got money. So Pam Conley,
Yeah.
Mrs. Rice,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yeah.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Miss Atchison votes yes. All right, we're on to action items. Falcon, would you like to,
Yeah, so this, we normally adopt the fee schedule in June of every year to take effect July 1 and follow that through the fiscal year. However, several of the items that we're proposing tonight, they're in red on the sheets in the packet. Not everything we're amending, just this thing's in red. Like some of the special meetings, the cost of putting ads in the newspaper have just escalated beyond control. And when people ask for special things like that, we feel that's their responsibility to cover the cost of that. So I don't think they're out of line. We look at several communities, our neighbors, other cities, to make sure we're not pricing ourselves out of reach. I think they're just reasonable. Yeah, yeah. So that's the proposal for tonight. Take effect January 1, 2026. The new rates.
Questions? To approve resolution 2025-26, a resolution to revise the 2025 fees and charges for municipal services effective January 1, 2026.
I'll support that motion.
All right. Yeah, I didn't make the motion. I wanted the motion. That's okay. I'm not supposed to make motion. Yeah, so we got a lot of support.
All right, very good.
Okay, very well supported. All right, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mrs.
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon.
Yes.
Yes, 6-0. Okay, B, the motion to approve contract with First Due for accounting and run reporting software, an amount of $4,200 yearly, plus a one-time setup and form fee of $1,640. Total is $5,840.
So unfortunately, the fire department has had to track reports in several different pieces of software. Changes at the state level and local level have really their force steps, which is a good thing, honestly, because it will really reduce by adopting this tonight and hiring First Due for our reporting software. Then our officers will not have to enter the same information in multiple systems. It'll be in one system that will handle payroll accounting, state EPCR, and national NERIS fire reports all in one system. So it's really a good thing, but we got prices from 3 different companies. The chief is recommending First Due.
Question.
I do.
Yeah.
There's a support for those. Like if there's any issues with the running of the reporting software, you have someone to go to help with that.
That's one of the reasons why we went with First Due. As part of the 4,200, it goes into that yearly support feature going into it. And they're one of the larger accounting softwares we go through, which this will integrate almost everything that we do. Like right now we have Active 911, which has all of our pre-plans, things like that to distribute. It'll go through the same process going in through there, so we can actually start doing pre-plans a little easier. Keeping track of our payroll, because payroll is getting more and more complicated all the time with ESTA and all the stuff that's going through there makes it more difficult. And it's a perfect time to start doing this because the state changes with all of the levels and modifications, all of the forms. First Due is also the state system that they're using that's replaced Image Trend for putting into the stuff into the state-run EPCRs, which is our electronic patient information as we're going through. So, and that also takes ability for us not to have to worry about patient documentation stuff because it goes all into that system. We don't have to keep track of it, which is, any way you deal with that, you want it locked down. So it just makes it a little smoother and easier.
Perfect. We want it easy for you guys. Good. Thank you.
For the fire department, or is it the whole? Okay.
Madam Mayor, would you like a motion?
Are we done with questions? Rose, did you have any more? Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Gross.
When I was in there. Okay. Become tenfold since then, as far as bookkeeping and everything else. So, this is past due. Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Mrs. Conley.
I will make a motion to approve the contract with First Due for accounting and run reporting software in an amount not to exceed $4,200 yearly, plus a one-time setup and form fee of $1,640 for a total of $5,840.
I'll support that.
All right, Mrs. Conley.
Yes.
Mr. Gross.
Yeah.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mrs. Race.
Yes.
And Miss Atchison votes yes. It's a 6-0. On to the discussion items.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, yeah. Ms. Falcon?
Before you tonight, first reading of a proposed ordinance. This came from discussion that we've had in the past about camping and storing personal property in public places. Our city attorney prepared this document. I've reviewed it. Sergeant Paulson has reviewed it, as well as our city planner, Andy Moore. It meets our needs. So
I personally believe it's past due again. It's been a problem to a degree. And it also comes down to the point, where do they go when? If it gives us all of the things we need to cover all of that, then walking into the post office at night and find somebody sleeping in there, just isn't a desirable thing for me, let alone I'm sure if it's somebody else that walks in there that may be a little more startled than what I was. So I agree with it 100%.
Would that mean someone camping in their car or their truck?
go ahead, John, please.
So that was something that, of, campsite. It gives a definition, and basically it says, a location where bedding, blankets, cots, so on and so forth. And then it also says in there, campsite also includes the use of a vehicle as defined in the MCL, purpose of overnight living or sleeping accommodations.
So I think last year we saw on the west side of the White Pine Trail, across from the amphitheater in the open lot there, quite often there were RVs parked in there. I don't know if it was just for a while or they were there. People said they were set up for overnight. I never saw them. But is that something that we would have to enforce?
Yes, and obviously the ideal would just get cooperation. The ordinance would be in place here just as a kind of a last effort if we don't get cooperation from someone in violation of the ordinance. So yeah, this would give us the ability to deal with that issue.
Okay. And also just the cars where folks are just kind of living in their cars and in the parking lots.
Very good. You really haven't gone anywhere.
Okay. Excuse me. Do we have any other questions or anything about this? So we're
I have one. So the White Pine Trail is a state park and the North Country Trail is a national park. And there are people that through hike those. So how do you deal with people who need to camp while they're through hiking that?
Honestly, someone on the White Pine Trail camping, it's not an issue that we've seen in Cedar Springs. This is more so to address issues of, like, we found tents behind the library several times. DPW has come across tents where they go. It's never really been an issue along the White Pine Trail. If we do find somebody camping along the White Pine Trail, I know you mentioned that before, that there's some allowance for that. That's not really the spirit of this ordinance here. So we probably wouldn't address that unless it became a habitual issue and they are in violation of something else.
Yeah, there was a person that was homeless and was camping and actually froze to death. I don't know if you.
White Pine Trail, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
They were moving in places and yeah.
Deal with it on a case by case basis and see if it is really someone passing through or if it is someone not passing through and just camping on public property.
That's how do you figure that out? You get like a certain amount of nights or
You just go out and deal with each individual separately and just talk to them and see what, where they're coming from, where they're headed, how long they've been there, maybe give them another night. And if, so I think it's just kind of very, very case by case.
Yeah, and I would think that if you're through hiking, you wouldn't be stopping for a long time.
Yeah. Usually a day or two.
Yeah.
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 I've seen tents by the highway,
Yeah.
by my,
Yeah.
by Meyer area and all that stuff too. So, yeah.
But one more question so if we do see someone in a tent in freezing weather, like I passed that person multiple times walking my dog. Do we have places that we can say, hey, here's a place you can go?
Well, it's not written in the ordinance. That's something the attorney recommended that we didn't put in the ordinance to offer them a ride, but I would certainly, as an internal policy, I'd instruct the deputies to say, are you camping because you're homeless? And if you are, we can give you a one-time ride to Meltrotter or to Degage or wherever they need to go. So we wouldn't just say, you're not allowed to be here, you need to leave in the middle of winter. We'd make sure that we find somewhere suitable for them to go.
Have a list?
We do, yeah. We do have them here at our department, but unfortunately, they're all in Grand Rapids. But, it's a 25-minute drive there and back. It's no problem. We can do that.
It'd be even better if we had a bus.
Provide tokens.
Thank you for that.
Let's move on to B, an ordinance to amend section 32-660, sign regulations for the B2 zoning district of chapter 32 zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cedar Springs, first reading. Mrs. Falcon.
So this, the planning commission not too long ago did kind of a major overhaul of our sign ordinance. However, this was a change, like an unintended change. We didn't realize the consequences. So a business on Main Street applied to replace 2 signs that they took down. And if you look at the current ordinance, what he wanted to put back up wasn't allowed. Well, so we went back to planning commission. They're like, oh, well, we didn't really mean to do that. So we amended the sign ordinance now to allow it's under one ownership and with one tenant, but containing multiple suites. Multiple wall signs may be permitted, provided that the total area of the wall sign does not exceed 50 square feet. So we just added that sentence. Planning commission approved it. Now it's before you, first reading.
Mm-hmm.
So many conversations about signs. I don't, in my now 15 years on council, it's a lot of sign conversations. It's probably parking.
Okay, any questions on this? Okay, we'll move on to C, approval for CBDT to proceed with the fishing line trail project at no cost to the city at this time.
So when I met with CBDT and John Ensley from Fleece and Vandenbrink and Donnell, I made it very clear that the city at this time, we do not have any money to design this, engineer it, fund it at all. However, they want to do this on city property. So I thought, well, okay, we need council approval first. Like, is this a project? It was in our master plan. I get that. So it's been approved in the past as a plan, but CBDT actually wants to fund the design. So I think this agreement needs to be approved by all 3 entities, the city, CBDT, and Fleece and Vandenbrink. Knowing that when this is built, it's going to fall to the city to maintain it in the future.
Yeah,
So,
okay. Yeah.
like Mr. McIntyre said tonight, they don't have the funds lined up to do this. They need design first. So if they've got funds to do that, I don't have a problem with it, but I just wanted it to be clear that the city doesn't have money to do this at this time. But I still need your approval if you approve this as a project for them, CBDT, to work on.
For that tonight, or,
That's what I was just gonna say, Madam Mayor, do you want
but
to vote?
And vote.
Well, somebody can make a motion and then.
I
we'll go
make
from
a
there.
motion to approve the CBDT to proceed with the fishing line trail project at no cost to the city at this time, and I'm gonna add on city property.
I'll second that.
Anybody have any questions? Or comments? Okay. We're gonna vote on it then. Mrs. Conley,
Yeah. Great.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Ms. Atchison votes
Yes. 6-0.
I'll let them know. To change the contract to have all three of us and then we'll sign it and then put it in their hands.
Communications then. Do we have anything?
I just wanted to point out letters. See there, I gave you a copy of the Eagle 604B grant extension agreement. This was a $234,000 grant that we got in April of 2023 to further investigate and install monitoring wells and such. The original contract was supposed to be done in December of 2024. I already signed 1 6-month extension. Now this is a second 6-month extension. We have just under $100,000 left of the grant. And we're working with our engineers and Eagle engineers to determine what that should be spent on to get for our buck. Bring that to your attention.
How about Mrs. Falcon, your city manager report?
I wanted to share with you tonight just a few pictures from the new city hall. The contractors are working every day over there. It's starting to take shape. You can actually see like where the offices are going to be in the council room. And I just wanted to share a couple pictures. So this is the hallway. DPW's in the back there. To the right would be the inside offices. To the left would be our offices along the east side of the building where the windows will come in. So this is the same hallway, but looking towards the front of City Hall. Again, our offices are on the right-hand side there, where all that natural light will come in the windows. On the left-hand side, there is a couple internal, the assessor and the code enforcement offices are on that inside, on the left-hand side of the picture there. The door frames are starting to go in.
Exciting.
Picture one of the door frames there to all the offices. So this one and the next one is kind of a rendering of the restrooms, some white tile, halfway up the wall there with kind of the black restroom stall partitions, black accents in there. I think that'll look really nice, really sharp.
Like subway tile?
Yeah. And then we have a new sidewalk out front that will come into the front entrance there, but there will be parking stalls along the left-hand side there. Maybe one more? I don't. Oh, that was it. Okay, that was it.
Exciting.
Nice.
Ding. Yeah.
How often are you over there?
Week. Yeah. So next Tuesday, we'll be there again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just wanted to share a little bit with you. A lot in my report. It's been a busy month. I thought I would have like a, slowdown coming, but things and
You mean like ever?
yeah. So other than that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
You also. Department of Public Works, do we have, Tanya, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. So for the month of November, the Department of Public Works cleaned the restrooms daily. We ended up picking up 56 loads of leaves. Picked up the barricades for trunk or treating. put the plows on the truck, set up the international for plowing, replaced the broken locks on the restrooms at the Heart of Cedar, which unfortunately were broke off the first weekend they were open. Out at the cemetery, we started cleaning up leaves, and that's gonna be put on hold until spring. And that's it,
Through the snow.
right?
The snow is just here to stay.
All right, thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I ask a question? Do you have any guesses on the number of people that came for trunk or treating?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. We're,
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
thought
wasn't here.
I thought that some of the DPW folks were out. Cause I thought you like put up the barricades and then took them down and.
No, we put them up the night before, and whoever's
Okay.
working it puts them out, and then we just go back and pick them up.
It was just,
So yeah,
it was a lot. And I would love to know a number.
yeah, I have no clue. Sorry.
Nope, not your job. Just if you had a vague construct.
The Methodist Church, downtown United Methodist Church, said they handed out 700 pieces of candy.
Not more than that.
Yeah.
Was it like handfuls?
Oh, no.
No.
We went down to pieces, yeah.
And then we went into Lisa's car and got her little Debbie snack cakes. Then because we were running, and I bought, so Costco has those big 5-pound bags, and I bought 4 of those. And we went through all of it. And then I don't know what you, and then we were in Lisa's car looking for her snacks.
Okay, so law enforcement, Sergeant Paulson.
Just to address the concerns for speeding on Main Street, we did a speed enforcement over the last month. So the day shift deputies and the night shift deputies spent at least an hour of their shift on Main Street running radar, made some traffic stops. A lot of traffic stops were made. We issued 1 citation. The rest were warnings, which I think is appropriate. So other than that, I spoke a little bit about our real-time crime center last meeting. One more cool addition to that, they gave me a drone. I have a drone in the back of my cruiser. I do not know how to operate it. I know how to turn it on.
But you have it.
I've already deployed it a couple times. Anytime we need a drone here in Cedar Springs, all I got to do is get it out of my cruiser, set it on the ground, and hit the power button. And I call one of my pilots downtown in the real-time crime center, and they can launch it.
Okay, so you don't have to run it.
Downtown, we don't
Mhm.
have visual observation. So, yeah, it's really cool. We,
From like over to Afghanistan from Nevada. I had a former student who was one of those people who was sitting in a chair in Nevada, flying them in Afghanistan. So we can certainly do it from Grand Rapids to Cedar Springs.
So if we need something now, if we have a child that ran away from school or from home or something like that, and it's freezing cold out, we don't have to wait for the drone operator to come from downtown.
Recently, the elderly person that like wandered off from one of the facilities, and you all found them relatively quickly, but if that were to happen now, I would be terrified.
The day it has thermal imagery, so we can pinpoint heat anywhere. So we did a test run. I launched it from our north substation behind Taco Bell, and he flew it over to Red Flannel Apartments at the end of the dead end of Oak Street. It took like seconds to get there from the north sub. That drone got there faster than I could get there in my patrol. We didn't race, but he got there way faster than I could have gotten there had I driven there.
And they can go straight line, in which you cannot.
From our north sub there. And
Even across trees.
really exciting. That's going to be a really cool service to have in Cedar.
So you have that now and it's active.
I have it. It's active. We've already deployed it a couple times. It's in the back of my cruiser. Yeah, I'll think of something.
Seems weird that they're vacuum cleaners and whatever that. I think it's a good one.
Well, you never have to.
Yeah.
I have.
Fire Department, Chief Detloff.
It's been a very busy month again, going up with almost a 20% increase in calls. So, keep going up. We did get TSC actually made a donation to the fire department for $500 on November 1st.
That's nice.
Heroes, where they go through and just try to go through and get to the police department, fire department. Got the lucky draw that was ours for this month. So we do appreciate that, and that works really well. Thank you again for the software. It will drastically help us get through some of the stuff, and it'll actually make our reports a little easier to see. We'll be able to do heat maps, get better ideas of where our calls are at, what time the calls are at. It'll give us a lot more tools to do what we need to get through. So I appreciate that. If you have any questions, more than welcome to answer.
Any questions? Okay, let's move on to City Clerk, April DeSess.
Oh, wait.
Did I say it right? Okay.
Well, I'm just going to touch base on a couple things in my report. One of the things that I've been probably busiest with this month is record retention. I've been meeting with all of the departments in the city to work on their individual record retention programs. That is going really well. I have Emily, last but not least, to still meet with next week. So we'll do that, and hopefully we can have a revised retention schedule for you guys in January to look over and approve. That will allow us to move forward with our document software that we have recently purchased to utilize for moving all of our digital files to that and having it more streamlined well. Yeah. Hopefully not have to deal with having piles and piles of paper files in the future. So that's going really good. And but yeah, that's pretty much the majority of what I've been focused on in the last few weeks.
Good job.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Finance Director, Emily, Mrs. Landon.
So you're probably all aware, but winter tax bills have been sent out. So we have been starting to receive some payments on those. They're due no, not the 14th because that's a weekend. Actually due February 17th because President's Day is that Monday. So get an extra business day, and plus the 14th falls on a weekend. So a couple extra days.
Right.
Other than that, I am still working on some reports for the previous fiscal year. I've completed the F65 report that will be available in the next council meeting packet for your review. I have a couple more to finish up, so I should be done with those by the end of the year, and then we can start working on the budget for next year. So I am also preparing some budget amendments for the current fiscal year, which you will likely see those in January. And Darla and I met today, and we submitted for the first reimbursement for the Heart of Cedar for the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund grant. So that'll be half of the reimbursement that we submitted for at this point. So that'll be $150,000. And then once we're finalized with everything on that, with the final payment and all that, we'll submit for the remaining $150,000. So yeah, hopefully it won't take too long to get that first reimbursement, and yeah, be good to get that in.
Anything else so that we need to, any of these other reports we need to go over? Okay. We're on to council comments then. Mrs. Conley.
The Memorial Legacy Park was lovely. There was a really wonderful ceremony and wonderful speakers to talk about Niels Anderson and June Mabey. And there was a good turnout, and that fire pit, I guess, for lack of a better term, is just wonderful. People really enjoy it. And it was a huge hit at the Halloween trunk or treat. And just really grateful that we put the effort into making that park happen, because it was wonderful for the community, and the lights look wonderful on Main Street. So big thanks to all the people that made that happen. I went out in the crazy first storm with my kid to drive down it while it was snowing and see it lit up. And he said, "Oh yeah, Grandpa Jerry." So that's what I have. I just thought that was lovely.
Mrs. Race.
Just enjoyed last Saturday's parade. I think it was 5 minutes and 2 seconds. I was very impressed. And everyone moved safely. There weren't other cars. That was really nice. My daughter played in the band, so the marching band was there, and that was just always cool.
I bet that was
That was new.
Yeah, video
was
that was nice.
So, thank you for making that safe for the kids and for everyone out there. There was a large crowd, even walking over to the tree lighting, and it was just nice to see the people out in the city and just enjoying
Even
it.
though it was
All
cold.
bundled up and just really enjoyed it. So that was really, really cool. Yeah.
Sleigh, it's really nice. Do we have a place to store that? Is it going to the museum?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Right.
Because that
At Heritage Park, though, I think that really,
Oh, it does. It looks really nice. Yep.
but do you want it there all summer?
no.
That's right.
No.
It's been donated to the city.
The Heart of Cedar Springs somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of room over there.
I was like, oh, when I learned that it had been donated, when we were I was like, oh, this is lovely. We'll need a place to put it. So for the summer. And then I saw that they put it on the trailer and used it for the parade.
Yep.
So
Was that it?
yeah.
I got to see Santa. That
Yeah.
freeze. It was so cold. I was like, 5 minutes, Santa. Wow. So, no, it was really nice. It's just good to see the snow and the lights, and it's here. Here it is. So thank you.
Mr. Gross.
I don't have a whole lot to say, other than, I'm going to get Happy New Year sooner. I've been so happy to be able to be part of all of this with all of you. Okay. As I said before, I thought about resigning once before. It's still in the back of my mind. Okay. But, it is appreciative of the fact that we have pulled together. The reports have been what we need. And outside of people that are talking much more than maybe we need to, like me right now, the meetings have been timely. And it hasn't been strung out as far as what they could be. So I appreciate that a lot. And the others, I just wish to, I'll choose to wish to Merry Christmas to all of you and everyone who might be listening or looking in the future as to what we have on recording. So I truly appreciate what the sheriffs and the police and all of you do, and fire. It's just nobody looks at you and says thank you for collecting my money, for using my money to drive around town, get a chance to run your lights and sirens. Most people have no understanding as to what is involved, and especially they're not happy with the person that collects their taxes. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Mrs. Powell.
Well, I'd like to say what Pam said. I totally agree with you. The celebration of lights was wonderful. And Renee, you too, the parade was terrific this year. I was glad to see the band there. And I went to the last library board meeting, and I'll tell you what, they have a whole new attitude, and so happy to be in the position that this library board is in now and determined to keep it that way. So I think we've had a wonderful year, and let's keep it up for next year too. I'm really excited about another 4 years.
Mr. Marvel.
Good meeting. Give a shout out to the DPW because I think the sidewalks look fantastic after a snowfall. They keep up with it so well. So, and yeah, great meeting, and I don't have much to say other than that. So, thank you guys. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well.
Yes, that leaves me. I appreciate everybody on this board. Everybody has their own things that they're good at and know about. And I think we work really well together. So I'm appreciative of the board. And Jerry, you're on for another couple of years. So just
You better be.
you bet one, sir, because we'd be really sad. Also, Braden, I'm really glad that you're on the planning commission. I've a lot of good reports about you. They really like you on there. Sad that Rose had to go off, but we can only have one representative on there.
I won the round of rock, paper, scissors on that one.
Yeah, it's a rock to go. Was that how it was? Okay, we are adjourned.